YouTube. This week on the cabin build, the builders were able to get all the tongue and groove on Monday, and then they had one of the dormers built. But then we had an issue with the roof pitch of the dormer didn't end up right. So they had to correct the wall height to get the right pitch of the roof so that it would match the triangular windows that go in above the main window of the dormer. After that, they were able to put in the roof insulation panels on top of the roof and get them secured down. And it's a little bit different style of roof, and I'd like to kind of go show how that whole roof insulation system works and how it's put together. So let's get started. So first, to explain how this roof works, I guess, is that the tongue and groove goes on, and that is what is seen below, and then you build your roof on top of it. So on the porch, there's no insulation. So on the porch, what we're doing is right on top of the tongue and groove, we're putting a 5/8 OSB on here, and then we're putting our roof underlayment on top of that. Now, the way the main roof of the house is, on top of the tongue and groove, we're putting 2 sheets of insulation on it. And these sheets are 3.3 inches thick, and they are R19 value. So you stack those 2 roof panels up, and you get a R38 insulation value in your roof. And then basically they lay them all out, and they get them all on there, stagger them. They fill the cracks with some spray foam, and then they take these 2x4s, and these 2x4s get some 10-inch log screws, and it goes straight through there into the rafter. So below each one of these 2x4s is one of the roof rafters, and that's what's going to tie it all down. Now, under our porch, there is a soffit, like a 2-inch wide soffit, and it will come in and cause air to be able to flow through here and go up these 2x4s and then out the ridge vent. So that's how we are basically ventilating the roof system, is this little 2-inch soffit that's below the porch, and it'll come up and go up through the pockets formed by these 2x4s and then out the ridge vent. And then on top of these 2x4s will be our 5/8 OSB, and it will come down and it will sit down on top of this porch and cover up that soffit. So on the gable ends of the roof, we have where the peaks stick out just a little bit farther, and that's just to kind of help give the house a little bit of a character. And that is done on both end gables and the dormers, and we have to go back and to put that on the front gable still. So now that they've got this roof insulation on the this is on the south side of our house, I can start running the wiring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the wiring in these pockets formed to ventilate the roof. So I'm going to bring my wiring up through the wall up into this pocket, and I'm going to run it up to wherever I want it to come out the roof, and then I'm going to drill it through the ceiling, and then I'm going to seal that hole back up with some spray foam. So I haven't done that yet, so let's get started. So looking here in the great room, I plan on hanging a ceiling fan from a rafter tie here and from a rafter tie over here, and then that will get us 2 ceiling fans over the great room. There's going to be a dining room table right here, so I need to hang like a plumb bob and figure out where I want a light to come out for the dining room table. And then we're supposed to have an island in here somewhere, so I need to have a wire come out of the ceiling over here for the dining room table. So that's 4 wires here in the great room that I need to run. So up on the loft, we decided that it's too short to be able to run a ceiling fan. So what we're going to do is probably just a couple light fixtures, 1 or 2. I haven't decided yet, so I'd need to ask the wife what she thinks. So we got possibly 2 more wires to run up there to be able to hang lights. So these rafter ties, that's what I'm going to hang my ceiling fans on, and they are 17 feet off the floor, from basically the bottom of that rafter tie to the floor. And this extension ladder I thought it was a 20-foot extension ladder. It may not be, but each half is 10 feet long, and it truly does not extend 20 feet. But to reach that tie on the ceiling, it basically has to be straight up and down to even touch it. So this extension ladder is not going to work. Luckily, I have an extension ladder from my old house. It was 2 stories tall, and it is 32 foot long, and that extension ladder is a monster. So I'm gonna have to go grab that extension ladder and get that in here to be able to reach these rafter ties to do my wiring. So I got all my wires in, and 4 of the wires, they go to rafter ties where I'm going to hang light fixtures or ceiling fans. And then I've got a couple that are a little oddball. I've got one that's coming out of the ceiling right there. That's going to be for above the dining room table. So we're going to put a 4x8 beam across those 2 rafters to hang that light fixture from. And then right there, I've got for above the kitchen island, we'll put a little piece of beam across those 2 rafters and then hang that light fixture there, and that's what that wire's for. So in next week's video, I'm hoping that we'll see that they have the rest of the roof insulation on, and we'll see all the OSB on top of that, and the start of the metal roof, if not most of the metal roof, I'm hoping to see on next week. So we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.